Good evening, everybody. It's another Thursday. It's another episode of Mick Diaz Presents Who Are We? And tonight, I am so excited because we have really, really cool people in our show, and they're the most enthusiastic people I've ever met in my entire life in terms of what I see on Facebook. And so, everybody, if you're watching out there, if you're watching live, hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And thank you to those who attended our first year anniversary at the Noipits 2 Saturdays ago. And a lot of people are saying that that's something that they really didn't expect because there were a lot of surprises. That came through in that show. So thank you, everyone, and thank you to all of the supporters and all of our artists who performed, and of course, also our sponsors who have been supporting us from the very beginning. And so, right now, oh my gosh, I am going to introduce to you to someone who's really, really cool. And I found out something really cool about him recently, and he's actually a fitness coach, a bodybuilding competitor, a CrossFit athlete, a life insurance agent, and a visual artist. So, everybody, let's all welcome Christian YLAGAN. I'm not going to ask you to hashtag his name because it's long, but everybody, please welcome Christian YLAGAN. Show us your clapping emojis and your fire emojis, heart emojis, and all of that stuff. Hi,
All right.
Christian. How
Hi.
are you doing?
Hi. Good evening, Mick. Good evening, everyone. I'm
Hi.
doing great. How are you?
Good. Where are you headed? Are you headed to the gym or something?
No, actually, I just got out from the gym, and yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
See, I was close. I knew it had something to do with fitness, which is perfect for our show,
Oh
right?
yes, yes. Uh huh. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, what's your daily routine? Do you always go to the gym every day?
Oh yes, yes. As much as possible, I try to go to the gym every day. Sometimes twice a day. But of course, since I'm in my mid 30s, I need the rest day in order for me to be able to recover fully
Mm-hmm.
for working again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And our next guest, oh my gosh, she is literally in the studio, which is like her gym. So she is a former healthcare professional, just like many of our kababayans or fellow Philams here in the States. And she is someone who followed her passions to the T. And she is the owner of a print shop called Viabox, and she's also the owner of the recently opened MovEssential Studio in Carson. And she is a health and fitness coach who is bringing Kangoo Club Fitness and Exco Latin by Jackie to Filipino-Americans in SoCal and beyond. So let's all welcome Abigail Castillo. So everybody, hashtag Abigail. Hi, Abby. How are you doing?
Hi. Hi, Mick. Hi, Christian.
Hi.
Hi,
And
Abigail.
so, how has life been since you opened Move Essential?
It's like, as you see, it's a very sweaty situation. No, I mean, I just finished a class just like what 8:30 ago, 8:30, like 15 minutes ago. But it changed a lot in a good way, of course. Anything that would involve you changing your lifestyle to a better and healthier you is the most what do you call that, the best feeling ever that you
Mm,
could really share to others and also make people get to it and get inspired. So that's basically what keeps me going nowadays.
yes. And so, our next guest, and he is just as enthusiastic as everyone else in this bunch. And he is actually a realtor by profession. Can you believe it? I mean, like, why is he here in the Fitness Gurus Fitness Enthusiasts podcast panel? We will find out soon. And he is actually the founder of FILAM Leadership Foundation, and he is also a board member of Filipino Influential Leaders and Mentors, also known as FILAM. And my gosh, he is one busy person, but he has allowed us some time to be with us tonight. So let's all welcome Edwin Baloloi. Hi, Edwin.
Hi, thank you, Mick.
How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Christian and Abigail? It's an honor to be with you guys up on the screen again.
Yeah, so what's keeping you busy nowadays? Like, we know you have several, like you're a man of many hats. We all know that just from the description, but what's been keeping you busy lately?
Well, the last few months, it's just been great to get back out again in person because I used to be the president of the Filipino Chamber of Orange County. And then networking was something that I was doing at least weekly. And then so you'd make connections with at least 30, 50 people, something like that. And then just like Christian and Abigail, I'm hitting the gym. I'm in the gym at least 6 times a day. And even on my rest days, I'm doing something that's active.
Mm-hmm. That is so awesome. And before we talk about losing weight or hitting the gym or losing calories or pounds, what is your favorite Filipino dish, Edwin?
my favorite dish, I don't know if it's necessarily good for you, but kare.
Oh,
yeah. See, with the tripe and everything, right?
Oh yeah,
Tail and everything.
Yeah, lots of bagoong, and my mother-in-law makes the best one.
Yeah, that's surely gonna make you go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Is that like one of those like inspirational things, or like one of those things that you have to do to make you go to the gym?
Yeah, it's one of those things I have to make sure I earn it. So if I know I'm going to my wife's parents' house and she's making it, I'm making sure that's like leg day or something.
Oh wow, that is so awesome. And so Christian, like we know you're going to the gym, right? So is it like a leg day today, or an arms, or something else?
Oh no, actually I just came from the gym, but
Oh,
yeah, so
you
I'm
came
done.
from the gym.
And yeah, today was eventually, yeah, it's actually a leg day for me. So I did legs, then I did 30 minutes of cardio post workout.
That is so awesome. See, like
Yeah.
everything's related because Abigail, everything she does has to do with the legs, right?
yes, yes. But there's also other formats for Kangoo jumps that involves your upper too. That's why you need to try it, Mick.
Yeah, I need to try it one of these days.
I'm already here.
Yeah. Like I have to take like the 110 South, or one of those. Yeah. And so like what made you get into what you're doing now? Like were you always like an active child? Like did you excel in PE? Was PE something that you were looking forward to every day? Or is it like the opposite?
For me, no, not at all. I know I did some sports just to be exempted to some subjects, but I am I am not. Basically, my health journey started when I got really threatened about my status on my health when I turned 40, which I'm 46 now. When I turned 40, my doctor said, if you're not going to change anything from food and your exercise, and you're going to keep on drinking there and drinking here, I'm going to prescribe you a maintenance. And I don't want to be there yet. It's, that would be the last resort. And yeah, I just did a challenge for like 3 consecutive challenge, and I just lost weight. And from there, I said, how am I going to maintain it? Which is the most difficult thing. Losing it is for me easier, but maintaining and staying consistent is more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the
No
most
activity for me.
challenging things.
No sports, no nothing. It's just a life-threatening event.
Oh my gosh. So
I
how
actually
about
agree with you. Yeah, I actually agree with her on the maintaining part, because that's really the hard part when it comes to fitness. When it comes to that's actually the second hard part, because the first hard part is like getting into losing weight or getting in shape. But once you're there, it's really hard to maintain.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Edwin? Like, so what do you do in terms of workouts or fitness? Do you have like some kind of regimen or routine that you follow?
Yeah, I could probably simplify it by just talking about two parts of the year. I might be in the same boat as Christian because of, I think naturally both of us are kind of skinny guys, so we had to actually put on some weight. I know it's a good problem to have, but then there's part of the year where I'm trying to put on as much muscle as possible, because of naturally if I stop lifting and all that, I'll probably be 140 pounds, and I'm 5'10". So I do try to bulk. So I'm eating 6 times a day, and that includes supplements, and trying to get close to 250 grams of protein. And then my carbs, I try to keep, I only count what's called starchy carbs. I don't count the green or the fibrous carbs. So breads, rice, and all that, I try to keep around 150. And then I get into a second part of the year, right around March, April or so. Because my wife and I like going down to Vegas, and we like going to pool parties, and we like going to a lot of social events where I'm going to have my shirt off. A lot of the girls are going to be in bikinis. So we want to look our best. So about 2 months out, that's when I'll start dieting down, and I'll treat it kind of like a bodybuilding contest, like what Christian does. And then I'll try to be in my best shape about June. So those are the 2 times of the year. When I get down to that, I cut my carbs to about under 100. And then I'm still eating 6 times a day. I'm doing a little more cardio. I'm doing a whole lot more reps in the gym.
So what got you, since you're already speaking, what got you into fitness, and what made you really want to do it?
Well, there was a lot of things. Well, my appearance was a big thing when I was a single guy. I always wanted to like try to be the hulkiest and the fittest guy around, all my friends. But then it did turn into a time where I was eating whatever I wanted to, and I was getting away with that because I was a naturally skinny guy. During that time, they came out with it was called the Atkins diet back then, and then it turned into the keto diet. But then I was eating a lot of fat and a lot of steaks, a lot of red meat, and then my cholesterol really went up, and I was actually starting to get chest pains, and my doctor said, you got to really clean up what you're doing. So I started eating clean, and then I started doing cardio. But then I think my journey ends up resonating with a lot of people online, because I have a lot of injuries. I have 2 torn shoulders that need surgery. I have 2 torn pecs from benching. And then that ended up snowballing because I ended up getting sleep apnea because of that, because you can't rest, you have too much pain, and then I can't sleep on my side anymore. So I do use a CPAP machine every night. Mm-hmm. So all these things that I have to keep maintaining. I know there's a lot of guys out there and gals too where this resonates, and I could kind of share my journey, because I'm not as young as Christian, where I could hit the gym twice a day. I used to do that. But when I was doing twice a day, I realized that was producing too much cortisol in my system. So cortisol is a bad formula for guys who are older like me. So I have to manage that. So a lot of these little things, and then I end up spending a lot of time on a lot of these online communities, and that's how I ended up starting up Active Filipinos, which is a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. So that's where my journey comes from in a nutshell, Mick.
Yep. Wow. So there's it's sort of like a trial and error kind of thing, right? With
lots of error.
Yeah. Before you get it down to some kind of routine, you have to try so many things, right?
Yeah. So it's managing a lot of pain. So now when I see kids and I see their shoulders hunched forward and all that, I do try to tell them about how they have to lift functionally, like what Christian does, and I know Abigail, how their workouts are more functional. What I used to do in the gym, they're very isolated. I've gone a lot of machines. I only cared how it looked, but then functional wise, it was really bad.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of you mentioned body and routines and stuff like that. But Christian here, like from what it looks like, right? I mean, when I see your pictures on Facebook, I'm like, oh, he's got it down to some kind of science, because you're into like you're competing out there. So what was your
Yeah.
journey like?
I don't know from where to start, but yeah, in terms of fitness, I was a swimmer as a high school, actually as a grade school student when I was in elementary. Then when I got to college, it became more like I was more into painting. So I didn't really focus on the fitness aspect. Not until I got here to the US that I realized that I needed to take it seriously because, you know, after 25 years old, your metabolism starts um, going down. Then that's when I got into the fitness world.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I like maybe 4 years ago was the time that I really took it to the next level when I started doing CrossFit. And like back in 2018, my wife was the very first one who competed. She joined the division in NPC, and I really didn't see myself doing it, but she inspired me, and I decided to do my first show a couple of months ago in March. So yeah, I had like my coach. His name is Sage. He's actually competing in the nationals, but yeah, he helped me a lot in terms of uh planning my meals and giving my like specific workouts based on my appearance. So he gave me more workouts like upper body, like with upper chest and more leg workouts because he based it on the body parts that I needed to develop more. Plus, my diet in order for my midsection to be a lot smaller because that's what they're looking for when it comes to men's physique.
Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about like your wife and how you got inspired and you decided
Yes.
to do somewhat of the same thing. Like, was there anyone that you looked up to, like before you started becoming like a competitor? Were
Oh
there
yes.
any mentors that you listened to or looked up to?
Oh, definitely yes. Number one would be my dad, my father. Because he's like he's actually an actor in the Philippines. So he made sure that fitness would be his top priority. So every day, like I would see him running, I would see him lifting weights in our garage, and then as young as when I was like um 12 years old, he would take me to our family sports club, and then he would always play tennis there. And now, when I would look at him, like looking back, how I saw him was, I really thought he was like an quote unquote an immortal because of his activities. Because he was very active, he was really strong. So it kind of got into my head, and I thought to myself, I want to be like this guy when I grow up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where it all started.
That is so awesome. Like that you have that role model and mentor, right?
Yes.
So Abigail, who did you look up to, like in terms of fitness?
I think no, as I've said, like in our family, it's I can say it's like a typical family. Nobody is active really. Whatever I'm doing right now with the rest of my family is something different. And for me, that's one thing that I really wanted to start within our, our circle of friends and family, because I don't really know anybody. When I jumped into Kangoo jumps, all the people that I just met all over the US, which is I met just last year because of the pandemic through online and festivals. they are the ones that's inspiring me, and they always tell me
Mm-hmm.
that, like, you're the girl, like, you're doing everything you could for everybody to get involved, because the most difficult part, also, like what Christian said, is for people to start. They always look at you, they tell you, you inspire me, but they don't do anything. So
Mm-hmm.
the process of gasping with them is really like me picking you up where you live, and then we try. It's really difficult, and it applies within my family. I mean, it's sad that most of them, like my aunts and my uncles, are like in their young years, 60s, 70s, and they're having difficulty living a healthier life. They can't enjoy going to vacation. Sometimes when they get sick. Those are my, like, frustrations, you say, but putting it as a goal for me
Mm-hmm.
to embrace and influence people, that it's never too late. Like, for me, that's what I always send messages to the people that I know, especially people that are younger than me, that I see that's having difficulty already living healthier, and they have younger kids. I said it's not too late, but don't wait till it's too late. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're here. Like, as I admire Edwin having the group. I mean, I'm adding people on my members and add it there, because it's hard, especially in our culture, to get involved, like, doing stuff in a very consistent way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't have any, and I admire Edwin and Christian, because they had experience. I admire people that have experience and willing to share, because sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is so true. And so since Abigail saying that sharing is caring, so Edwin, what made you decide to put together a group Active Filipinos?
Well, I saw a lot of the casualness of SoCal Filipinos and SoCal Pinoys, and saw the success those groups were having. And then I knew those were very inclusive. So going off and creating somewhat exclusive group of fitness, I thought we could reach more people. But then we had to be careful how we named the group too, because I wanted to call it first Fit Flips and Buff Flips and all that. But I tried hard not for people to visualize someone with big muscles. So that's where we came with the term active, and that active,
Mm-hmm.
it's whether you run a 5K or if you're in a competition like Christian, or if you do a lot of active cardio like Abigail. We wanted to just combine everyone with a goal, pretty much. That's where it
Mm-hmm.
pretty much came from. And then we want, because even though I've been lifting for decades, literally, I get inspired whenever I see someone who crushed their workout and then just started last year, or someone just like one of my friends, Dre Tan. If he lost like 10 pounds, that really makes me work harder in the gym. So there's selfish reasons too, but then I hope that it pretty much just gets infectious to the other Filipinos around, and because we share the same problems. I mean, temptations, I should say, where we go to on-sit parties, and then we go out and we have our social life. We have relatives that smoke too much and all that, but then we try to share what our solutions have been.
Mm-hmm. And so the name itself is very inclusive, right? So it doesn't matter what you do, like as long as you're active or you try to be active in some way, shape, or form, right? And so yeah, I think the name alone is a good start in itself, right? And like, so speaking of like the routines that you do, like is there some kind of like what are the first what would you say are the first three steps for someone, like let's say for example, like for me, I'm just like a regular person, like I don't do any kind of work out, not like you guys, let alone like be like Christian who's already competing out there, right? So like what are the first three steps? Like, you know, if you were to tell your members, like new members of the Active Filipinos, like who want to go along that path that you've taken, what are the first three things that you would tell them?
And good question. And first off, there really is no one size fits all. There's not one diet for everyone. There's not one workout for everyone. So the first step, I would try to assess what their goal is, not first and foremost, and then break that down into a long-term goal and even short-term goal. And then we'll try to help them visualize that, whether it's them showing me a photo of who they want to look like or how fast they want to run that mile. There was a good saying that I hear in real estate, and that is the world punishes people who with vague goals. The world punishes people with vague goals. So what does that mean? You have to be very specific. So, and when I say specific, you would tell yourself, I want to lose 15 pounds by February. For me, my goal is specific. I always say by June, I want to go to Wet Republic over at MGM and I want to weigh 180 pounds and I want to be able to show abs. So even though it's a little comical, it's very specific, because if I'm not specific and I'm vague, I'm going to fail. So that's number one. Number two is I would assess your current habits. So I would tell you to be brutally honest with me, chart out what you ate for the whole week, because I want to know, the two places where people fail at their diets the most is in the workplace and what the food is at home. So if we could control those two environments and then we replace it with good food, then we get to the third part. Third part is you're already inspired. So I don't need to inspire someone anymore who's coming to me or coming to Christian or Abigail, because we're helping people who only want to be helped. We're not going to put a gun to anybody's head and say, hey, you have to go lose 10 pounds. It's not going to work. So when we're doing that, they're already inspired. And going back to my old real estate analogy, inspiration is useless unless you translate it into habits. Okay. So I try to set them up with 21 days because in real estate, they say 21 days to a habit. Because you could go lose 10, 15 pounds getting on a keto diet in 10 days and then trying to go on a vacation, but I guarantee your habit's going to be crap after that. So do something, you go 21 days and then next 21 days. So those would be pretty much my three steps.
Mm-hmm. That is so awesome. Like for me, it's like a mental thing. Like, how do you even start, right? Like, how do you get to those three? How do you even get to those three things? So, Christian, I know like you must be following a very rigid schedule given, the things that you do, right? So
Oh, yes.
what do you do? Like you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do?
Oh, the first thing, it actually varies day by day. Like, as you can see right now, I'm still in the car and, going from one place from point A to point B. So uh, I I do my best to plan my week like a week ahead. So like tomorrow, I know that at 8 a.m. I'm gonna do CrossFit because tomorrow's like a lot of Olympic lifting. So that's actually where I want to focus on, like, getting better in my Olympic list in like the CrossFit aspect. Then I'm gonna be coaching at night. Like I also coach group classes, but during the day, that's when I'm gonna do my outgoing calls for work, for what I do in the insurance business. And then I didn't even mention because I have two daughters, so I also bring them to school and pick them up from school. So yeah, I the cliche, the saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I want to make sure that I plan ahead of time. So yeah, it varies day by day. Sometimes in the morning it's different. Sometimes I do like I plan like my like for example Tuesdays is my day to do like some artwork. That's my Me not letting go of what my first love, like what I told you before. So yeah, it is very challenging. It is very demanding, but at the end of the week, it is very fulfilling.
That is so cool. And was there ever a time? So let's say like Abigail, like I know, like she has a very, interesting story, right, of how you started. Was there ever a time when you had all these challenges and you decided, oh, like I'm just gonna give up? And was there ever a time when you were starting this journey, like that you
Well,
wanted to give up?
I mean, not to the point of giving up, but to the point, for me, every day is a challenge. It's just that how are you gonna conquer that? Like, you cannot, if you're given a challenge for the day, you just don't turn your head around. You face it and do something about it, because if not, it's just gonna be there the next day. So for me, what I always say is like, yeah, same with Christian. You need to plan and you need to know what you want. You need a bigger why, like a bigger why of why am I gonna do this? Am I doing this for just to look good, or I wanted to like for longevity of of a healthier life? Do I want to see my grandchild's, things like that? So for me it's more on about life. So challenges for me,
Mm-hmm.
I always crush it for the mere factor that I wanted to live longer. And if I'm having difficulty, I have a lot of support. Number one, you need to have that surrounding like-minded people that would lift you up and inspire you. If I inspire them, they definitely inspire me to back. So there's
And
no way you could just quit. No.
mm-hmm. That is so cool. And speaking of what you do, I'm really interested. Like, what made you decide what made you choose Kangoo out of all the other exercises or regimens that you can do? Like, what's different about Kangoo that you decided that is a thing for you and that's something that you want to share to everyone else?
The thing is, it was a blessing in disguise, as I've said. When I lost weight through three consecutive challenges, I cannot stay lifting because maybe of my age. So I always have shoulder injury for lifting, my knees hurt, so things like that. So I try to look for a cardio, and we found these boots. So we bought boots, and in our class, we started just jumping by ourselves. We didn't know that there is a format for the boots. So luckily, because of the pandemic, we were able to get license, and I was the first Filipina to get license, and here too in California. And now my goal is just to share, because I cannot live not doing it. It releases my stress. You saw me like after the workout. It's like as if nothing happened. Like all my stress level and like anything that I encountered throughout the day just flies away, and I get good sleep, which I value a lot. Good sleep for me is beauty sleep. So yeah, I mean, is how I cannot see myself not doing it. That's really
Mm-hmm.
for me. And that's the same thing, whatever you find that you think, I'm gonna do this until I'm old, 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 because it would keep you going. It would help you to stay active. Like, so that's the main
Like
goal.
an active Filipino, right? And
Yeah,
speaking that's a good segue.
yes.
Speaking of active Filipinos, Edwin, that's so funny. Yeah, so speaking of active Filipinos, like um what do you um what made you choose, to do your to do the kinds of exercises or routine that you do? Like, I mean, like in Active Filipinos, you were talking about like the diversity and inclusivity of the group, like do the members doing different kinds of things as long as they're active and getting healthy, right? But
Right.
for yourself, like what made you choose certain things that you're doing?
Yeah, well, I do. With sometimes they refer to it as the bro split. It's an old bodybuilder workout where it's pushing on one day, pulling on another day, legs on another day. It's a 4-day split. The main reason why I do it is because it concentrates on hypertrophy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it concentrates on muscle growth. So you're concentrated just on that muscle, and you're trying not to use any conflicting muscles, or for the complementing muscles of back-to-back days. So, for example, I'll give you one day I do a push. There'll be 20 sets of chest, 8 sets of triceps, because they work together. And then I try not to follow up that chest and triceps day with a shoulder day, because it's often that you are already hitting the delts when you were doing incline presses and even your bench press, no matter how good your form is. So then the split is very kind of scientific, the way it's spread out, chest and triceps. I do legs the next day. I'll take the day off after that, where I just run 2-3 miles. And then after that, when I come back, it'll be shoulders and then back and biceps. So the whole cycle is it's a 4-day split with where I go 2 days on, 2 days off, and then that really it allows me to eat a lot because I'm burning a lot of calories during that hour and a half. I don't care how repetitive it is, because of the main complaint that someone will have over the bro split is it's not exciting enough. I'm one of those guys who'll just go plug in with my earbuds and go blast some EDM, and then I'm always ready for that next set. There's some people who will say, how come I see you on Facebook so much? It's like, do you do anything? It's like, how do you have so much time? It's like, because I'm replying to you between my sets. It's like, what else am I going to do for 2 to 3 minutes? Because I'm always hitting my set, and then whether it's 15 reps, 20 reps, and then I rest 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not one of those guys who will do. I envy Christian and everyone else who can do it, where you'll just do one exercise right after another. I think my lungs and heart just can't handle it, and I'll feel like fainting. So it's a little lazy sometimes too, but then I do think I'm ready for the next set. And it's after I've tried a number of workouts out there. This is the one I just keep going back to. It's the one I started with. It's the one that a lot of pro bodybuilders do, and it's the one I just keep going back to. I don't recommend it to everyone, because of like my wife will get completely bored with it. She needs a lot of action going on. She needs other people doing the same thing she's doing. She needs more of a boot camp and CrossFit type of workout. That's the environment she thrives in. I thrive in doing my own thing at the gym.
Mm-hmm. That is so cool. And speaking of activities, like were there any sports, like favorite sports that you did in the past?
Well, the downside, I'll admit, to this kind of workout is you're injury prone, because you're walking around with a sore chest, or you're imbalanced, in other words. So if I love football and I love basketball, but I knew as soon as I started playing, as soon as I started lifting, I would get injured an awful lot. So it's not the workout for you guys who are thinking about doing a lot of sports and all that, because of it. You do create a lot of imbalances. I've tried to remedy that over the years by doing a lot of single leg exercises, less compound movements, because of my right side stronger than my left. But then to answer your question, I love those two sports, but then it's often conflicting because even if I'm trying to run a 5K and then there's people who's skinnier than me, I always tell them it's like carrying around a 30-pound backpack. Because that's where my muscle mass ends up becoming a liability in that case.
I do have another question about sports. So Lakers or Warriors?
Lakers.
sure.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Of course, we're all in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And plus,
Right?
one of my friends from the scene from high school is married to Byron Scott. So of course he's
Oh,
gonna be.
really? That is so cool. Yeah, and so if there were anything that you want to change about the industry, let's say the health and wellness industry, with regards to, what you guys do, what would it be? Let's start with Abigail.
Um, huh. Anything maybe like how how the active Filipino group is, maybe because it needs to have like a more generalized address to people, because not most people are not open on changing their habits, especially if they're not like me, brought from a family that are, healthy, active, and things like that. I guess maybe like a platform or something that we as Filipinos, or in general, could have people reach out on people that really wants to change their lifestyle, starting from food, starting from activities, starting from just being just to start on something, because as Edwin said, not everybody is the same. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has different habits, everybody has different lifestyle. So I guess uh, maybe to put uh, uh, a platform, make a platform like how Edwin is doing with the active Filipinos, but more on a general way. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it would
And,
help.
and Christian?
Yeah, I think I really couldn't think of anything, but I know this is something that's out of control. But the drama sometimes, there's a lot of drama in the fitness industry. Like for example, this just one example. When I think like someone made a comment about me getting a tan during my show, saying that they think that I'm just like one of the guys who likes doing fake tans. Whereas what they don't know is that it's actually a requirement
Yes.
if you want to step on stage, if you want to look good on stage. So like unnecessary drama that would bring athletes or
Mm.
people down, or people who are trying to hit a goal, all of a sudden sidetracked by such side comments of
Mm-hmm.
people who actually uh, like unnecessary comments. Yeah, that's one thing that I would really love to be eliminated in
Mhm.
in the fitness world or fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's not the only time. Like there are other situations, and I can go all day if
Mhm.
you would tell me like about about what I go through in in the gym, like in regular gyms and boot camps. Yeah, there's always drama, and that's one thing that I don't want to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about Edwin?
Yeah, it kind of segues to what Christian was saying, because we tend to get our attention peaked. Kind of just like with politics and all that. We almost tend to gravitate towards drama. There'll be like let's say Christian posts something about his contest. So there might be 99 very good comments, and then there's one bad comment, and then everyone's going to gravitate towards that. So I just wish we would stop falling for that, because it's such an old trick, and the people who say the crap comments, they're trolls. Like, I know a lot of trolls, and then the trolls just love attention. A lot of times they're not even showing the real photo. It's a fake profile on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't fall for it. The troll just wants to be fed, and then a lot of times just ignore them.
Yep.
But I wish that would stop. That kind of segues into the thing I wish that I would that would change in this whole this whole mentality of fitness, and it's gotten better. I'll admit. So I'm going to probably give away my age, but then I've been bodybuilding since the '90s, and then during that time, if you're wearing like your gym clothes, or if you're going to the store, you're really an outcast at that time. You know, it was, bodybuilding was just for the hardcore. And then if you saw one of my buddies, yeah, they wouldn't even be big per contest standards. They would be looked upon as just complete freaks. It's like, and then I was like Christian, where I used to do the tanning bed a lot, and then they would go, why do you do that? You know, you're just looked at like just an outcast of society during that time. But then I like somewhere in the late 90s, there's a company called EAS, and an author named Bill Phillips. He kind of made a lot of that more mainstream. So he wasn't doing so many roided out athletes anymore for his magazines. He wasn't using them for his to promote his supplements anymore. He was using more everyday Joes. He was even using like people like Sylvester Stallone, and you know, people who just looked more, they were still fit, but then not like freakishly huge. But I still like that too. We still got a long way to go, because I talk to a lot of people that still get intimidated to go to the gym, or they'll let's say they don't know Abigail, and Abigail happens to be one of those girls who has 30,000 followers on Instagram. You know, the instinct or the habit that a lot of people think is immediately, oh, you know, she must be like a stuck-up bee, right? So, you know, I'm not even going to try to talk to her. What I've experienced in this whole fitness industry, and I'm sure Christian will probably agree with me, is if I go to the Fit Expo, or if I see like one of the fitness celebs over at the gym, they've been nothing but like the friendliest people. Like I probably just run into maybe one or two a-holes in my whole life. But the rest of them, even people at my own gym, people think, oh, just because she has earbuds on, she doesn't want to talk to anybody. It's like I said before, what am I going to do between sets? So I go up there and I chat it up with a lot of these people, and you know, whether they're a professional athlete or they're a competitor or anything like that, they've been nothing but like the friendliest people. And even gals that I've met at the gym that have like 100,000 followers, you know, a lot of them get nervous just like any of us, and you know, a lot of them are kind of socially awkward even, but then it's cool. You know, that's the thing. It's my long-winded answer, but I just want people to remember that these people that they're thinking about as they're putting on a pedestal as influencers and all that, they're just everyday people. You talk to them at the gym, a lot of times people aren't even talking to them. They want people to go up to them. They want people to take selfies with them. You know, they're regular people.
So did you guys have any memorable moments, like, you know, while, because you know, all of you advocate for health, right, and fitness, and doing what you chose to do is like an avenue into a better lifestyle, right? And so do you have any memorable moments or anything that, you know, kind of jumps out, and for you to say like, okay, this is it, like this is why I'm doing this? Were there any moments like that?
Who do you want to go first?
You can go if you want.
Okay. So yeah, because I was talking, it always blows me away, and it did happen at the gym the other day, where someone that you don't know is kind of keeping an eye on your social media, and one of those people that you forget you're even friends on Facebook or on Instagram. He saw me at the gym the other day, and I didn't recognize him. I'm like, who is this guy? And he goes, hey, it's Pete. And I go, Pete? You go, oh, you got to be kidding me. I go, you look great. And he goes, yeah, you inspired me to lose like 30 pounds. I go, really? It's like, you look like I saw you on the treadmill and you're hauling ass. He goes, yeah, I could run a 5K in 20 something minutes. And yeah, the guy looked fantastic. But he said I was watching a lot of what you do. And then that just really pushed me to do this. You know, he was, I was like, geez. And then that wasn't the first time I've heard that. It's like, so that's just a reminder that a lot of times people are watching some of us from afar, and that you might think that you're in a rut and you're not affecting other people's lives, but then there's people watching you and you're actually inspiring them by example. Then that did touch me pretty good. It was one of my best moments in this whole fitness journey.
And Christian?
Aside from the PRs the new PRs that I hit whenever I go to the gym, or other than my very first muscle up, because yeah, that was pretty memorable. Like I never thought I could do a muscle up. But yes, like what Edwin was saying, I would get random messages like saying, "Hey, just so you know, what you are doing inspires me, and this and that. Like, I started doing this because I saw you doing it." So that for me is very fulfilling, and that's exactly the reason why I decided to become a coach, personal trainer, and a group class trainer. So the fact that that's very fulfilling for me, to inspire, to motivate other people, and to lead them, to inspire them in a good way, and setting a good example
Mm-hmm.
for the next generation. Be specific.
Yep.
Yes, that is so true. Like setting an example for other people. And Abigail?
Well, for me, it was just recently when we had the first ever festival, Kangoo Jumps Festival in the US in Texas. I've been only doing official Kangoo Jumps um, class since last year of June. And I mean, I've been consistent and people are seeing me. I always do quick lives, sometimes long lives. And the thing is, when they see, they know. And when they see it, it's like, oh, I could do that. So when I went to Texas, I saw a lot of people because when I did Kangoo jumps, I gained around 250 to 300 friends in Facebook, add them adding me all over the world. So being an instructor, an official instructor of Kangoo jumps is one thing, but another thing is being validated that what I'm doing is making them do their thing too. Like being consistent, because some instructor, they have their moments, they fall off, it's hard to come back. People, there are challenges as coaches and as instructors. There are not always a time your class is full. So when I went to Texas, I got some people from Texas wanted to take pictures with me. I said, "Can I take a picture?" So that thing is like they see me and they said, like with Edwin, we're friends in Facebook. Oh, really? I said, I always watch your live. And yeah, I mean, keeping them, letting them know that what I do, they can do. I'm not special. So whatever I could do is just, you know, it's just a moment that people would really get to it and do it. And they thank me. They thank most of us that went there, that they thank us traveling from California going to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we're trying to spread it out. Hopefully, we're gonna have some workshops soon. That's gonna be done here in California to have more instructors and more workshop, more learnings. So that's it. I mean, it's unstoppable. I think.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And like, yeah, it's world domination from here, right?
Yep.
I mean, and can you tell everyone who's watching us where they can find you, and like if you have any classes scheduled next?
Yes. So since the opening 2 months ago, I opened like July, right after my birthday. We already have official classes. We have a Monday to Thursday, and then a Saturday. So every class that we have it posted on our social media. We have Kangoo Club Fitness California in Instagram and a page on Facebook. And also we also have a website. So now all our classes is in Punch Pass. So if they're gonna look for the studio, which is MovEssential in Punch Pass, they would see all our classes available. So I think I'm offering 2, 4, 7 classes a week.
Oh wow, that is so awesome.
Yep.
And Edwin, do you have anything coming up?
Oh, as far as actually with FILAM, we do have our anniversary event going on in Cerritos next week on Thursday. It's at 6 p.m. That's October 14th. And then for more information, go to filam.life. It's a new charity organization that Neil Estrada, the longtime friend, founded. You know, he always wanted to make sure that the local influencers and people who are making an impact in the community, that they get supported. You know, people like you, Mick, you know, like Mick Diaz, that we make sure that their star's shining already, but we want their star to shine brighter, and we support them through events and even in monetary ways, getting them to go speak at different places. But yeah, Art Cafe over at June 14th. Go to filam.life.
Registering today.
Yeah. And Christian, do you have any classes or group classes, or
Yes.
how can people sign up for your one-on-one trainings?
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you're into group classes like the boot camp type of work, our gym here at True Fit Boot Camp in Lake Balboa is open Monday to Saturday, and I coach Mondays and Friday nights in that boot camp. It's really fun. It's a really great community. But if you would like a more personalized, individualized program, I can definitely help you with that. I can customize your meal plans. I can customize your workout plans, and I can do some hands-on training with you. You can just message me in Instagram or in Facebook. My Instagram, like, you know, you can reach me at alphawolf_1984 or coach_alphawolf.
Okay, that is so cool. So everybody, yeah, you can watch the replay, or they're all on Facebook and they're all on Instagram, and you can find them. Edwin Baloloi, Abigail Castillo, and Christian YLAGAN. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank
Such
you,
an
everyone.
awesome
Thank you.
night to have
Yes,
you
thank you
guys.
so much. Thank you so much for
To all
putting this together.
And thank
Yes.
you for the ones watching.
Yes,
Yes,
and
and
actually, we're streaming in the Philippines. We're on Kumu, and we're also on Twitch, and of course, we're on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you to everyone who's been watching us, especially on Kumu. So to those people who are in the Philippines on Kumu and also in the Bay Area, thank you so much for watching every single week or every time that we're on. Thank you, and yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode of Jam Sessions at 8 o'clock in the evening. So we'll have Shekinah or Noah or Honore or even Garth. We'll do Garth again. Yeah, so we'll see you at 8 o'clock p.m. That's our very new, like, it's a new relaunch of our jam sessions that we filmed yeah, like a month ago. Yeah, so that's something like to look out for. And thank you once again, and thank you to all of our guests tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. jam sessions. Good night, everybody.
all right, good night.
Good
Stay,
night.
stay healthy.
Bye.